Every detail was well thought of in anticipation of the whole experience. So it's very purposeful. One thing about MYAVANA is it's a purposeful journey. So we're going to continue on that journey. God actually gave me 2 questions for my introduction today. And the 2 questions were, what is MYAVANA and what is a summit? So I want to introduce MYAVANA as the new way to take care of your hair. All right? We're now in the future of hair care is technology driven, and you finally have a company that knows exactly what you need at every phase of your hair journey. So this has started off as software products in the market, then is now expanding through B2B licensing, and as you all heard earlier, our B2B network that we call the Hair and Beauty Network. So we're going to move into the next sector of our hair and beauty network, which is retail. I'm really excited to have the new president of Braintrust Founders Studio, Miss Melissa Hibbert, who was actually a very significant part of the journey as well. And it takes me to the second question God asked me was, what is a summit? So I'm gonna read to you the definition and bring her up because it really illustrates the intention of why we are here today. So the definition is of a geographical summit is the highest point of a mountain, right? So remember we started in prayer on taking the mountain of business, right? And those of you all who know me spiritually know that at the Shift Summit, actually, a few years ago, I focused on the 7 mountains of influence. So that's what we refer to in terms of the mountain of business. The definition as far as a summit, a meeting together, is a high-level meeting or conference often involving leaders or representatives from different countries, organizations, or groups. These summits are usually convened to discuss and address important issues, negotiate agreements, or make decisions on matters of mutual interest. So that is actually the purpose of why we are here today. We are here to do business as well. And we are about to expand in the retail sector in a very significant and purposeful way, which we'll get into that discussion now. I want to bring up Miss Melissa Hibbert, who's joining us from LA today.
Yes.
And we are going to get into this discussion. Welcome. Doesn't she look fabulous?
You. Oh, gosh.
And doesn't she always look fabulous? One day I was like, Melissa, how do you find these outfits? Oh, my God.
I find them everywhere. I shop everywhere. Well, thank you so much for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I want to celebrate you because I think I shared a picture with you earlier from 2015, and your persistence and your commitment and your drive is worth celebrating every day. You're an inspiration to many, many entrepreneurs, including myself. And I don't want to let this moment go by without letting you know how significant you are and how important you are and how much you are valued in this industry. And I'm sure many of us don't know all that you went through to even get this far, but just know that we see you and we appreciate you.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I'm holding back tears, but thank you. That means a lot to me.
You're welcome. So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. I am so excited. As Melissa said, you know when you like cross paths with people over the years as you're on your journey, right? I feel like that was that way with Melissa. And most recently, if you go to the next picture, so this is where we last got together. This was at the launch of the second location of Glow and Flow Beauty, a beauty supply store in LA. And actually, I went to this store, the first location, a couple years ago to do a history interview on Black History Month, for Black History Month. And, over the years, you kind of see things happening in the industry, right? And, one of my challenges was related to raising capital. That's honestly why it's taken so long, just getting the resources, right? And there haven't been many investors focused on Black beauty entrepreneurs. and intentionally focused on Black-owned beauty businesses. Now, this is very important because of how many Black entrepreneurs were disenfranchised in the industry a few decades ago, and particularly the beauty supply sector. So the fact that you were called to this role, I know that something major, significant is taking place. I think that you are the best person to lead us as well, like in terms of being beauty founders in Black culture, right? Because our walk is just a little more nuanced, right? So this was the moment where I was like, wow, we meet again and now in partnership together. So can you tell us what it was like to, introduce more about your background and how did you end up getting into the role of becoming president of the Braintrust Founders Studio?
Thank you. You know, it has been quite a journey, and my journey is it's unusual because I fell in love with beauty in high school at the age of 14, and actually attended beauty school and high school simultaneously. Went off to college, Fisk University, and graduated. But beauty has always been just a part of my life. I remember finding an abandoned salon in my dorm on campus, and while a pre-law major, doing hair and makeup over the weekends, just loving beauty all throughout my career. Went through a traditional career of working in corporate America for 14 years. And for me, working with big brands like Nike, Jordan Brand, transitioning, working in advertising for Uniworld Advertising Group, where we managed brands like Colgate, Ford, Coca-Cola, and then moving on to entertainment, working for BET, Viacom, and then in publishing with the Los Angeles Times. So my career in brand and product marketing was pretty significant, but none of it really led me to beauty. And the only way for me to really honor my calling in this industry was to walk away from that traditional corporate background and pursue beauty full time. So I left corporate America in 2012, and with both feet in and withdrawing every cent out of my 401k, I pursued beauty. And I went into the industry as an artist, as a creative, working as a professional in film and television, simultaneously launching my own agency called The Glam Agency at the time, where I also employed other hair, makeup, and beauty professionals to work in film and TV. In Hollywood, there's a notion that they can't find Black talent to work behind the scenes, to work with talent in front of the camera. And so we solved that problem with my agency, and so we were able to employ other artists to make a living doing what they love while still being able to provide a service to the talent that needed it most. And that was the representation of working with Black and brown talent behind the scenes. And then that evolved into, actually, when I met you, I had my own makeup brand at the time, Chic Cosmetics. And for me, being a founder and someone who had my own product line, I knew that journey, but I also I had a lot of great successes, but I also made a lot of mistakes. So being a founder and being on that founder journey and recognizing that, there was this knowledge base that I think, had I had someone like me today then, it would have been very, very different. But it all was really planting the seed, for more. And that role from working in the Glam Agency, working with a lot of brands, parlayed into me consulting with big brands like Cream of Nature, African Pride, Kiehl's, and others. And that got the working with brands and sort of going back onto that corporate realm was a completely different space, because now I'm going from working with people to working with products and working with brands. And so now I felt this alignment, like putting back on my corporate hat, but now in the beauty industry. And so this was the plan all along. It was that personal business plan that I had that no one really knew about. But I knew that my journey was going to look very different. And it was also not going to be understood by many people who knew what I had, the background that I had. And so, but for me, I needed to make this transition look the way that was authentic to me, my skill set, my gift, my talent, my vision, and also my intention for working with other entrepreneurs like yourself and helping brands to be successful. And so then I pivoted into my own company, Shift Beauty, which was a full-service consulting agency that really worked on strategic growth plans for beauty brands. So I brought all of my corporate background to the forefront of the beauty industry, working hand in hand with founders to help them to start, grow, and scale. That put me on the radar with Kendra Bracken Ferguson and Lisa Stone, who are the founders and co-founders of the Braintrust Founders Studio. And over the last few years, working on projects with them, working on deals and partnerships, that gave us the idea, like, wow, the work that I'm doing, the work that we're doing, there's some alignment here. Let's bring these two worlds together and find a unique way to continue to work forward on behalf of all of these amazing founders and all these amazing brands in the industry. And so we did. And so in April, I was appointed the president of Braintrust Founders Studio.
Very well deserved. Can we give her another round of applause? Because I'm just so happy to see how your path has converged in this way. Here's one of those moments. So she sent me this picture, 2015. Actually, the first time we hosted an event for MYAVANA in LA. And I was also new to the beauty industry, right? I'm coming from the tech industry. So to see our paths now converge in this way is just so exciting to me.
Full circle moment.
Full circle, very much full circle. Braintrust is also a new investor in MYAVANA. So they are part of our seed round. We actually just officially closed our seed round for this level.
Congratulations.
So I want to give a shout out to all of our investors who are here. New Age Capital, Mike Ross, our first angel investor, Harvey Adams, another significant angel investor. I mean, God has been sending his people to really get MYAVANA going, and Braintrust was one of those significant investors that joined along with Ulta when we launched. They also made a strategic investment in the company.
Well, we are proud investors. We fully believe in the work that you're doing and the work that your team is doing and how you're transforming the industry. And so we're just thrilled to be on this journey with you. Our studio, we are the largest membership-based platform for diverse beauty and wellness founders. And our studio is a pipeline to the fund where we have a $15 million investment fund for founders, breakthrough brands and founders like MYAVANA. And so it's really for us to be able to deploy capital while at the same time being in a position to help brands to start, grow, and scale is great work that we do every day. 91% of our founders are Black women. Last year, we total revenue of $142.6 million, with over 9,000 SKUs sold in over 4,700 retail stores. And so the growth, it's year-over-year growth, and Black founders create products that everyone can use. And I think that is something that we need to continue to amplify. Yeah. That while we make products that we found, that our products are for everyone. Similarly, the technology of MYAVANA is for every hair type as well.
Exactly, yes. It's the inclusivity, but also bringing the diversity and equity back where it's needed, right? Balancing those scales.
Absolutely.
Because honestly, Lisa and Kendra are one of very few women VCs that I've met with. I don't meet with a lot of women investors. And we have to change that, number one. Yeah. But number two, I think you all bring a very unique perspective and expertise from different areas. So to see you all get behind Black founders in beauty is game-changing. There hasn't been a fund like this, and it's 2024. So I'm telling you how significant it is. You all are pioneers as well. And I'm interested to kind of see, you all recently have completed the economic advancement report as well and have all this great data. What are you seeing in the retail space in terms of opportunities, right? Because what I love about technology is it gives you the ability to transform and really unlock new market opportunity to be completely, it is never ending, honestly. But I'm interested to hear, what are you seeing in the market opportunities, and what are the trends that you think that maybe we should be maximizing?
Well, we believe in cultural and commercial leadership, and we use that. We believe in that, and that's backed by verifiable data that shows our impact on the industry. And the fact of the matter is that the Black and brown founded brands are being consumed by everyone. And I think that data needs to be amplified largely because these products that we create, we are oftentimes more likely than anyone else to create products that are not just effective but are safe. Largely, we've had decades of products that have been marketed to us that have been harmful, that have not served us well. And when we create products, we create products that work well for us, but work well for everyone, and that are also safe. So the idea of sustainability and being clean and green, that's just the way of business now. So that's no longer really something to truly hang your hat on. The big opportunity right now is significant differentiation. And really drilling down, if you're coming into the industry and you're creating a product, no matter what category, what is your significant point of difference? What makes your product new, better, and different? How does it stand out among every other product in that category? And what I've learned and what I've seen a lot right recently is that we don't necessarily need better products. We need more founders who are stewards of their brands, founders who are willing to get in front of and behind their product. I have seen many founders who have taken on the persona of being an introvert, right?
Yes.
But that honestly doesn't serve you right now because you have to be able to be the face and the voice and the influence and be also the subject matter expert
Right.
on your product and your category. So we're seeing a lot of founders who are going into retail now having to actually develop like this whole personal branding strategy just as much as they're creating a product marketing strategy. And that is very different for a lot of brands who are saying, you know what, I want to create a product, I'm going to put it up on Shopify or Amazon, and it's just going to sell itself. Well, long or gone are those days. That is no longer happening. So what we're seeing is this intentionality of the founder being amplified and the founder sort of standing out. There's also a trend towards what we know to be that shift back to localization. Your community matters. That is where you win. That is where you become, if you can become a hero in your own backyard, in your own community, surely you can be a hero on the shelves of any major retailer around the country. And so we're seeing this huge resurgence back to the beauty supply store space, that channel that has been largely overlooked. And I would say to a lot of founders that, listen, there is something really special about winning at starting small. For those of us who are love God and who read the Bible know that you can't despise small beginnings. We firmly believe that even in this industry. The reason is because when you work on that local level with your local beauty supply stores, you have an opportunity to refine and define and to stand out, to know how to sell, to learn, to listen to feedback. You can test, you can try, you can sample with someone that looks like you every day. You have to show up for your brand, and so we're seeing more of that. That going back to that grassroots, work of marketing, that guerrilla marketing that we have long, kind of moved away from because of the whole digital and social media. A lot of that is happening again, and so it's almost like going back to basics in a lot of ways.
Right.
And that is such but it's happening. It's actually a good thing.
It is.
It's not a regression. It's actually a really good thing because what happens is now those of us who are not only product developers, but also we know that we consume more products than anyone else. Now you have a chance to help that founder in your own community be even more successful. And that is, to me, where everyone wins.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. And I think that sometimes in pursuit of becoming a big company or growing fast, you forget about, the seemingly small things that actually have big impacts.
Right.
And so community building is actually a huge priority for MYAVANA right now. We actually just started our hair parties. If you haven't been to one, well, if you stay until 5, this is going to turn into a hair party. But we wanted to embrace like the same intention like the Mary Kay parties, right? Where you were just getting together with your girls right at home, right? And actually reaching, people, like you said, right in your own backyard. Yeah. And, I sense so much purpose there as well. And I kind of want to dive more into that, especially with the beauty supply stores, because when you think about it, they're the neighborhood place, or they used to be, or they once were, right? And one of the most surprising things to me when I was growing MYAVANA and learning more about the market is I didn't know how many beauty supply stores were not Black owned. I did not realize, like, I think we remember, like, most being Asian owned, right? Or most beauty supply stores have an Asian presence. When I looked at the numbers, less than 5% of beauty supply stores are Black owned.
That's correct. Staggering.
It is astounding to me.
It is, but here's the cool thing. Since 2020, there have been far more Black-owned beauty supply store owners than probably ever before. And someone who's probably in that space may have some real specific data. But I think this idea around ownership, and you also have organizations that are helping, entrepreneurs learn how to get into the business of beauty supply. Yes, largely Korean owned for a long time. One of the statistics I read said there's over 9,000 beauty supply stores in the country, and only 3,000 of those or less are Black owned. So there is a huge, gap and disparity.
There is, yeah.
But not only does that impact the ability for ownership, but also access to the products that you're able to supply to acquire in your beauty supply store. So we have issues with, distribution, access, racism, financing, funding, from every angle, right? But there is absolutely an opportunity because there are organizations out there that helps to support founders who really want to have a presence in the industry. And that's really what it comes down to. It's not even about who's keeping us out, it's who can you connect with that's gonna get you in. And that's really where we need to think about. And because there's so much data that just keeps us despondent. And then we internalize that like, it's not for me, it can't be, they're keeping us out, they. And the truth is that we have to, like you have done, break through, create a lane for yourself, continuing to chip away at whatever it is that you desire, and then aligning yourself with people who are going to help you to get there. And that is, and then lean into those people. When you have that help and you have those relationships, you lean into that.
Exactly, yeah. Break through those barriers, because we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar market.
Right.
The beauty supply industry alone.
$9 billion.
Right? $9 billion. So that's our money, right?
Yeah, we are the biggest spenders.
9 times more than the average consumer. So again, where's our money going, right? To Robin's point earlier, stay in our community less than 30 minutes.
Yes.
So this is a wealth rebuilding purpose behind initiatives of what we're passionate about, because once I really got down to the numbers and I saw where we are as a company now, I was like, okay, I see an opportunity.
Yeah.
And so we had a passionate meeting one day, because that day I was just like, ladies, we need to talk about this. And so one of the things that we have decided to do about it is we're going to start a pilot together to integrate MYAVANA's technology throughout Black-owned beauty supply stores to help drive sales back to their stores.
Woohoo!
Because if we know what products you need for your hair, once we recommend it, what's the first question you think we get? Where can I buy it? Okay? So if you go to the next slide, we're going to be partnering to launch.
And this is breaking news, by the way.
Breaking news.
We're telling you all first. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. We're starting the Retail Innovation Academy, MYAVANA and Braintrust in partnership, to transform our beauty supply stores, but also, to Melissa's point, is we see this as a community building strategy as well.
Yes.
Because as we're throwing these hair parties, we're like, wait, we can go throw it at an Ulta store now. Yep. All right, we can take it to our Black-owned beauty supply stores as well, right? So let's make the beauty supply store the place to be again, right?
Yes.
Like how our salons, right? The place to be again. So we have some special things that we're going to offer through this pilot. You guys are hearing it first.
Yes,
so we're just giving you guys a preview, a preview of what we're going to do. We're going to be targeting between 10 to 50 beauty supply stores across the country to integrate MYAVANA's technology and help drive these product recommendations. Because again, how often are we changing our hair? How often do we need product? Can't we circulate our dollars like strategically, right? So What are you thinking about this? Because I love that.
Well, you know, I almost flipped and did a cartwheel and all the things when you told me. And none of those I know how to do, but I was willing to do it just because this is so exciting. First of all, we are thrilled to partner with you on this initiative. Not only is it innovative, but it's going to elevate the Black-owned beauty supply store experience for all of us, right? Yes. And I think that that's really what we deserve. That
we do.
We deserve that.
We do. We're here to innovate and elevate.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay? And so this is an incredible. This is such an incredible time. I think I shared it with you that with all that's happening in the world, we need this. We need to think about wealth building. We need and being able to solve it at this level with your technology, with something that's already existing. All of these brick and mortar beauty supply stores around the country that are Black owned, to identify them and giving them a chance to participate in this growth and success. And what you're doing is like you're not only reaching back, but you're also feeding a whole group of people and community, because we know that this initiative is not just about selling the products, but it's about supporting these stores. They need to be sustained. And so this is such an incredible moment. So thank you to your team.
Thank you for being ambitious with me.
Absolutely.
Because I'm like, guys, we have to transform this market, and it's
a big deal.
This is a significant part of it. But, very specifically, what I noticed was when I was studying these business models, like in Flashpoint, when you look at the business models of technology companies, the blueprints are built to be scalable, right? So you're building with the intention of capturing multi-billion-dollar value from the beginning, right? And so when I thought about MYAVANA and the trajectory of our company, so remember, we started out as software, right? We're distributing these software through the salons and retail stores, right? Now, what do you think would complete the full experience of MYAVANA? Because again, once you get your recommendations, it's like, where can I get the product, right? So now you're going to be able to retail with MYAVANA. We're going to be selling products, but our Black-owned beauty supply stores are going to do the fulfillment of those products. And we're going to do that in partnership with Amazon, who can now deliver those products to your doorstep.
Yes.
Powered by MYAVANA, okay?
Wow.
And I was just like, that's how we need to do it.
Yes. It's fully integrated. It's seamless.
And this was in 2016 as well, 2016 or 2017, because we did an interview on CNBC, and I was like, yeah, MYAVANA is going to become the Amazon of hair care.
Right.
But we're not going to do it ourselves. We're going to partner with the beauty supply stores that already have all the products sitting in their stores, right? Why not turn them into distribution centers and ship? Do you know how much I would really get into my hair more? Like I said, I am that introvert behind the computer screen, but I really love my hair. I would do more with it if you can make it easy for me. I'm like, MYAVANA, tell me what I need and just deliver the products to me. So that's where we're headed.
That is incredible. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a visionary, and you're also great at executing. So we are.
I'm trying. Now. I'm really trying. It is difficult, and it is not easy.
Well, listen, it's clear that the future of hair is here.
Is here.
Okay?
It is here,
so this is really exciting.
And I'm grateful to do this in partnership with you.
Yeah, yes.
And the Braintrust community.
Yeah.
And anyone who wants to apply. So please go to our site and submit your information if you're interested. We are going to set up the official application and invite. You have to apply to be in the pilot, right? Because we want to get a good sense of where your business is. Yes. Because again, Melissa pointed out that, another part of keeping these stores sustainable is the operations in store, right? Having the right staff, having the right e-commerce platform. There's so many elements of it. And yes, we can help with that. But we're going to take stores who are ready. We're going to integrate with them first and get other businesses on a clear path of sustainability before growth.
Yes. So
Right.
share this with your Black-owned beauty supply stores that you are familiar with so they can apply to be a part of this pilot and this opportunity. This will be a pilot that will run for 12 months, so all year, for an entire year,
Yes.
all around the country.
Yes.
And so this is, it's just remarkable, and to be able to, that particular photo that you showed was one of the 25 Black-owned beauty supply stores in Los Angeles, but it's one of the #1 revenue-generating beauty supply stores. And so there's so much opportunity there. A lot of emerging independent brands. We have another beauty supply store partner in DC, and she ordered, products that you're all very familiar with. And what she's saying is a trend that she's seeing is a lot of consumers like yourself are walking in there wanting to know about the new emerging brands. What's the new? And you guys are supporting that.
Yes.
And that's really incredible and really encouraging for those who are saying, is it too late for me to get into the business of beauty? It is not.
It is not.
It is not. Consumers want to see you, they want to experience you, and they love new and innovative products. So it's still a great and exciting time.
It is, and thank you for mentioning that because it is about distribution. So the fact that we can see the brands that perform well for different hair IDs, and we can say, oh, your products are needed in these stores because there are more hair IDs that need your products over here and offer that. So I'm just, again, excited to dive in.
That's a great point because it also gives data to the founders, right, and to the brands. So the brands can say, wow, I've been performing in Georgia in these 5 stores very, very well. Because what happens with emerging brands, what's called traction, hard to get traction because they don't have the information. So when you go to sell into another beauty supplier, you go pitch, they may not be familiar with you because you're not a household name yet. Right. But with this data, that also can help support, from a founder standpoint, the sales and, the ability for it to be able to share that data as they continue to grow. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Reach more customers. Yeah. So that's what we're aiming to prove out. So
I love
please
it.
Spread the word. Information will be up soon. And I'm just happy to share this moment with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're excited. On behalf of Braintrust Founders Studio, we are delighted to, and we cannot wait. We just can't wait to launch.
Yeah.
So let's go.
So excited. Let's go, y'all.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you, Candace, and congratulations to you and the entire MYAVANA team.
Yes.
Keep up the great work.
It is go time officially. Let's take a picture. We're going to go right into our next discussion because we are taking retail to another level. Are y'all ready? Yes.